All right, we're halfway through, so here we go. All right, next we have One Battle After Another. I'll just I'll start out by saying I think this might have been my favorite movie of the year. I did. There are other ones that are very good, but this one hit me on every level, personal and just filmmaking appreciation. Paul Thomas Anderson is I really love his films. And it's interesting. I thought, the themes, a lot of people were talking about the politics of it, but I just don't think that's the point at all of this movie. I think it's about, I think it's about generational trauma and generational hope. But I think it was really good. I thought, Penn, while being over the top and very singular in his character, I thought he did a great job. And in the end, it is billed as a comedy, and I think it kind of is a comedy.
It is because you mentioned the politics. I think the politics are an aside to this. Because the only reason people talk about the politics is because of what's going on right now in the world.
Right.
That's the only reason. If this had been come out like 20 years ago, people wouldn't be focusing on the politics so much because it's just what it is. In fact, both sides of the political spectrum that are in the movie become almost like a farce at times, and he's making fun of both sides.
I was trying to get the rendezvous point for my daughter, Willa.
If you can't answer what time is it, I cannot give you the rendezvous point. This is a key tenet of the rebellion. I'm surprised you can't name it. I don't know if you are who you say you are.
My feeling is that movies these days tend to be a little longer than they should be. I think there's certain movies where it's like, yeah, you could have cut the scene, cut that. And specifically in this film, I was a bit annoyed during and after the fact of how long the scenes of him arguing with the people about trying to get the password went on. I was like, I get the point. I understand we can move on. This movie doesn't need to be this long, until I realized what a large theme that is of the movie. I just thought it was a sort of this is funny and this is interesting, but now you're dragging it out too long. But once you realize how it ties in with everything, it's like, okay, I understand what you were doing there.
Yeah. So you were saying you were feeling the frustration he was.
A little bit, yeah. This is going on too long, and I'm not getting anywhere because I hate when that happens.
Interesting how you feel what he felt.
Come on.
Yes. Almost like the filmmaker was trying to do that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I oddly enough saw this film the same day as I saw Train Dreams. I watched the first half of Train Dreams on my phone. And then I went, whoop, time to go, because it was actually a screening of it happening at a theater, which I was so happy about. So glad I got to see this on the big screen. Went and saw this, and then went back home and watched the rest of Train Dream. So I only saw two films, saw them both on the same day. But P.T. Anderson, I'm a huge fan of Boogie Nights. Kind of haven't followed him through his whole career, seen a few here and there. And this one is a winner, I think. I really liked it a lot. I'm not a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan, and I found that I really liked him a lot in this. Sean Penn, of course, is just mesmerizing. I mean, from every frame he's on the screen, regardless of what you said, Matt, about it being sort of like similar and one tone. I think he's fantastic. Yeah, I could not take my eyes off him. I thought he was so good. It's interesting, that this is billed as a comedy. It's an extremely dark comedy because I saw it as it's a dramatic film that has comedic elements, But I think I get your point that, perhaps it is more of a commentary and perhaps a satire on certain things. And so as soon as you have that element, then I guess it is considered a comedy. The scene on the desert road, the highway road, that is like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just want to see that over and over again. Talk about something that is like, is this going on too long? I didn't want it to ever end. It was just so cool.
Yeah. This is where we use that picture of Scorsese with his hands up. Yeah. As far as that car chase scene, I didn't think that people could make a interesting car chase anymore, or something we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
But the way it was paced, and it was great. And I think that's great editing too. So F1 is the other editing. So
You're talking about the roller coaster part. You're talking
yeah,
about-
going up on the hills and like
Yeah.
seeing the long shots through.
Yeah.
And
I thought that was something that reminded me of like something Hitchcock would have done.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's
it
like
definitely
so
felt very much
so
like that.
beautiful because you're like, I can't see what he's doing now, and then
Right.
I can see it now.
Right.
You know,
and then like
over
building
and over.
and building the tension of like, oh, it's a little closer now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gaining. But yeah, it's funny. I think about that, and I think about the editing and the racing of F1, and both are amazingly well done. But the tension of that hill scene is pretty amazing.
So I definitely get a feel like a No Country for Old Men feel for this from this film. You guys see that comparison at all?
Yeah,
I
Kind of
I can
certain
see it.
elements.
the people on the run and
Certainly the last those parts of the movie, like that following the car, stuff like that. I could definitely see that comparison. I was more of, this is more like Hitchcock to me than it was Coen's, but then again, Coen brothers took a lot from Hitchcock too. So it's like it is something, that was a big influence on their filmmaking anyway. So I can see what you're saying about with No Country though, and that might be because of the setting where that was more so than the actual like filmmaking. But that's just that might be just my own thinking of it that way.
Yeah.
Whoa, who's this? Who's that? Who is that?
Oh, they're just my friends.
And they have a red car like that, just driving a little loud, don't you think?
It's just a car.
And you told them they could do that?
Yes.
Told them to come to the house?
Yes.
Now, who's the one with the lipstick? What's that one's name?
Bobo.
Bobo. Now, is that a he or a she or a they?
Dad, come on.
Now, are they transitioning? I want to know. If
They're
are they-
non-binary.
Okay, I just want to be polite. All right.
It's not that hard. They, them.
And who's this little freak at the door?
Probably Bluto.
And just coming to my house like this, huh?
Yes.
All right. Is that your date to the dance?
My friend.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my number one. Like, I would love to see this one win. First of all, once we knew we were doing this, we had to like really focus because we had to get them in. So we were looking at the times of the movies, and this one was a long one. And I'm like, I don't know if I have 2 hours and 41 minutes in me tonight. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. From start to finish, it does not feel like 2 hours and 41 minutes. This is one battle after another, and it is one battle after another. I loved it. I thought that Leo was great. Hysterically laughing. The scene on the couch when he gets the call and he's smoking the joint and he's trying to like get it all together. Sean Penn, in my opinion, should win. He was fantastic. Tiana Taylor, so good, and I think she will also win. I don't know what else to say other than it was just so well done. It was, I have no words. So good.
Yeah, I love this movie. It doesn't feel long at all. The characters, I don't know what this really means, but to me, they felt very crisp and they felt very distinct from each other. And I didn't realize until the very end that it was based on a Thomas Pynchon novel. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, no, for sure. It really keeps moving. It has these very interesting characters who are, I don't know how to say it. They're very alive and they're very focused on what matters to them.
Then the French, what were they called?
Right.
The French, like 75. The
75.
French, yeah.
But that also applies to Sean Penn's character. That also applies to, and it was in this world, this sort of weird, frenetic, dystopian, paranoid world.
It was very Fight Club.
Yeah, and it is the world they're in is almost a character as well. I thought Sean Penn was fantastic. I have a weird thing about Sean Penn. Like lately, like he annoys me, and so I was kind of like, oh yeah, Sean Penn, he'll probably be pretty good, but he was really, really good.
Yeah.
And as much as I didn't want him to have the best supporting actor of the
You
year,
didn't want him to be smoking cigarettes in the audience.
but I I don't know I don't think he will win because of the competition, but he certainly is deserving of winning. And if he did win, I would go like, well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If he does, buckle in for a speech. I'll just say.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, yeah. So maybe I don't want him to win. I will say this: I love Benicio del Toro, and he does a very good job. I don't understand why he was nominated for
I
Best
don't
Supporting
either.
Actor.
And there were so many others that should have been nominated.
He was just kind of enjoyable and fun, like he is, and he was.
And it's just not that big of a part,
right? Right. Yeah.
So.
And had it been like he had acted it bigger, or had it I would have seen it being warranted for a nomination, but it wasn't. So it's like
it's hard to be nominated for a character who his main thing is he doesn't panic about things, or he doesn't get emotional about things. So his whole bit is like, okay, get to do that.
Yeah,
come on, gotta go.
He's the sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he did a good job with that. I think I had said before the thing that was great about this movie, and it is, I'll say now, it is my pick for my favorite movie of these.
Yeah.
People really focused on the wrong kind of thing about it. A lot of people got all political about it. And now, while the subject matter, of course, there's things going on in it that are extremely political. They're a revolutionary group. There's immigration things and da-da-da-da. But I just don't think it's about that, really. I think it's about, and again, I might have said this already, listeners, but, it's about generational trauma, and it's about, again, one battle after another. It's about failing at the thing you believe so much in, whether it's being the master race and being in a club like that, or changing the world for the good through any means necessary. And it's like Tiana Taylor's character like sells out in the worst possible way you can sell out. You know what I mean? You rat on your friends who are murdered by spoiler alert, by a rogue gung-ho military guy. It's just like everyone has failed at what they wanted. And it's the idea like, well, parents feel like they fail or in their life, so they pass it to a generation. And to me, that's what it's kind of about. And I think it captures it so well. And that's why I liked it so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
I will also say that, being a great director can mean a lot of different things, or it can come out in a lot of different ways. You were speaking before about Chloe Zhao and Hamnet. And of course, she gets performances, because of the way she works with actors that a lot of other directors don't. I might add Guillermo del Toro to that list, but there's also the fact that this is a big, sprawling movie, and it's really long, and it doesn't feel long, and it really holds together really well. And I think that it's excellently directed.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think, like, you talk about getting good acting out of people. Like, look at Boogie Nights. Like, look at, he's good at his craft. Did he do Magnolia too? Like, yeah. So he's
good at getting performances out.
Punch Drunk Love.
There Will Be Blood. Hello. My God.
Yeah.
Possibly the best performance of this century, but I don't know. Debatable. Next is The Secret Agent. This was a hard one for me to see, but I did get to see it in the theater. I found a late showing. For this one,
starting this one late. Wow.
Yeah. It was a long movie.
It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
A lot of these movies are long, but that's okay. Yeah, 240. I will say that it didn't necessarily feel that long.
No,
I was locked in the whole time. I will say it really is good at capturing sort of this period, 70s kind, and this feel of like gritty, I wouldn't say third world, it's Brazil, but this sort of gritty, not spy, but kind of like government shifts and stuff like that. Government conspiracies and things.
Yeah, it captured that claustrophobic. It's not conspiracy. It's the
Costa Gavras effect. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the don't trust anybody.
Yes.
Kind of feel, and they do that through the whole movie. and shifting back and forth through so many different timelines.
Yes.
That was like, I'm like, okay, where are we now? Kind of thing.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the cinematography alone captures that 70s kind of filmmaking style.
Yep.
What I found so interesting about it is that it wasn't sepia, but that element of like that old.
It's like a yellowish,
Yellowish,
it's less brown than sepia, but it's almost like faded, like paper, office paper or something, or like that.
But they did that color separation. There's so many blue and red and yellow. Especially blue and yellow was the big thing.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that was on purpose, because blue and yellow, isn't that the Brazilian flag?
I don't know if it is, but I'm sure it was purposeful for whatever reason.
Yeah. But on all the Volkswagen bugs, man.
Yeah. There are scenes of, especially near the end, of amazing tension, of like, does he notice this person there?
Yeah.
This person is trying to ID him, stuff like that. And it's just like it does a really great job of ratcheting up the tension. And also, like you mentioned, the sort of the idea of like there's these refugees who are trying to get out or hide from something. And some of my favorite scenes are the group of the people hiding in the safe house. And how they really seem to like, I think I could really connect with you or be your friend, but they're just like, I can't tell you anything. There's this interesting dynamic there that I thought was great. And what I'll say in general, to wrap it up on this, I really enjoyed the film. I think there are a lot of really great moments. And again, but at the end, I felt a little unsatisfied, but I think that's just because I have this Hollywood movie mentality a lot, where I feel like things have to resolve in a satisfying way, and they really don't. There is no law. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to give things away about the end, but they jump forward many years later, and there's a character who we only knew as a young child, and there's this interaction with a reporter or some kind of administrative someone in the government, checking out old records or old recordings. That was in a way kind of satisfying, but in a way it's like, God, I want there to be emotional resolution or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that's me being probably a little too, please me at the end, or appease my want. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to be very selective on how I say this without saying anything too much. I'll say to you in a very vague way, that last shot, you still have this question about the past. What is real that we think is there and what's not?
I thought I had that same thought.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think that's
because you see that newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
You ever actually see that ever
That's
happen.
the only thing we know of it. And as we know,
yeah.
What does that really mean? Because all through the movie, we've seen bullshit like stories about things,
Yeah. And we already know that he took a fake name.
Right. So, yeah, I thought the exact same thing, but yeah. And again, it's a worthwhile movie. It's a great movie, worth seeing. But that was my only thing about it.
Dona Sebastiana?
Sou sim, a senhora Vitor. É Marcelo?
Sou eu. Tudo bom?
Tudo bom. Queria peru.
Poxa, entra aí.
Esse é Clóvis. Só vai, menino, Estevam.
Opa, tudo bom, bicho? Tudo bom? Tá seguro aí?
Tô sim, pode ir.
Vamos embora.
Galinha velha que deve perto da barra.
E eles não me assaltaram hoje?
O quê?
Oxe, roubaram meu cigarro.
Eu não deixava. Mas precisando eu tenho. Não deixava roubar meu cigarro.
Now, Manny, I guess you didn't see this one.
I saw the trailer for it. It looked good.
Okay, we can go with that.
It looked visually stunning as well.
All
he
right.
looked very handsome.
Yes, he did. Al, what did you think of The Secret Agent?
Well, first of all, I liked it a great deal. I definitely think it belongs on this list. Wagner Moura is very good. Everybody in this movie is really good. The performances, the characters, there's something about this movie, and this is a thing that I do love in movies, when you are watching a movie and everybody looks real. Like, yeah, Wagner Moore is a really handsome dude, but really, other than him, there's nobody else in this movie that, off the top of my head, that looks like a movie star. You know what I mean? And I know this is gonna sound dumb, but like, there's just people who are just not that attractive, and they have big roles, and they but they're performed very well. And to me, that adds a level of verisimilitude, if that's
a word.
right term. Yeah. And of course, it's because it's also rooted in history, that makes it all the more compelling to have these characters kind of be this way. Having said that, it's a bit slow. It's a deliberately paced, I think.
Yes.
And it's long, and unlike One Battle After Another, I kind of felt the length. I mean, again, it was really, really good. I just it didn't. And at times it's also quite compelling. Like there are times when they're trying to find him and they're getting closer, and so it is gripping, and that part moves along. I do like this movie a lot. I don't know that it's in my top 5.
Yeah, I don't think so for me either.
It's not for me either.
How did you feel about the ending? Because I had said earlier that it felt a little unsatisfying somehow. But again, I made a note that I'm Mr. like, close it up for me emotionally. I sometimes really want that Hollywood ending.
You want a little bow.
Yeah, but that's just me sometimes wanting that. Yeah, what did you think of the end? Like the flash forward and the whole what was going on?
Well, so for me, the ending is it was jarring at first, right? You find out what happens with Wagner Moore's character without going into any detail.
It's very matter of fact. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
here's a picture clipping or something, and then they finish up.
And then you're like forward in time.
And maybe that's the problem I have, is like, I'm so invested in his character by this long running time. I somehow want some kind of more, but maybe that's the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is, because the speech at the end by his grown up son is, okay, spoiler alert. The fact that this son, who clearly in the movie really loved his father, is now many, many years later saying he doesn't really even remember him. It's it hits in a maybe not satisfying way, but it hits.
Yeah.
And it made me, my father's been dead now 30 years. So, I mean, it hit me in a weird way too. But I think I will say this, the ending is very effective. It's also jarring.
Yeah.
And it made me think a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. All right. Let's move on to Sentimental Value. This I got to see in the theater. What is it? Joachim Trier.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? I don't know. But let me just say, my description of it: beautiful, melancholy family drama about the redemptive power of art. That's my little blurb.
So
Scandinavian, exactly. I love the way it was directed. I love the house being the POV of the story in a lot of ways. As a place that contains the memories of a family and the the spirits of the things that happened to the family. As a holder of moments and memory. Skarsgård's great. The actress, everyone in it is great. I mean, I like we said, Scandinavian. I'll just say, I tend to be doing this with these films. Bergman-esque.
Yeah. For me, I really love the movie. My biggest issue with it is that am no longer really a fan of movies about making movies. And so
you're like that about music too. You don't like music about making music.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I see too many movies that I see every year that are submitted to us that are about filmmaking and people working on a film. And it's like, I understand you're writing what you know, but God, you got to know more about life than this shit, man. This one, it takes it so seriously. And then it becomes this element of it that just takes me out of the moments that I really want to be in. But you're onto this whole thing about like, oh, well, you're going to be portraying my daughter. You're going to be, it's like, I just, it breaks me out of the story too much.
Yeah.
I still love the film. It just wasn't up there enough for me. Even though God, performances.
Yeah.
I mean, Skarsgård is just like, I don't think I've ever seen him do something bad ever.
Yeah, he's always good. Even in a silly Marvel movie, he's good.
Yeah. and he plays comedy very well in the Marvel movie.
The ending felt, I mean, again, it was hammering home what he wanted to say, the filmmaker.
Yeah.
And he showed the healing bond between them through looks after the scene is done.
Yeah.
Like they're exercising their demons through art. That's the whole point. It was a satisfying ending, but I still had some part of me that was like, all right, you know.
I do like that they discuss what the shot's going to be and then that they incorporate that later on.
Yeah.
And I did like how they do that, and the ending worked very well for me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't feel any unresolved issues.
You at least felt that there was some communication going on.
Yeah.
And hopefully he is a little more, he could relate to his daughters in a better way now, not just sort of at a distance.
Yeah. And I do feel like I'm not gonna remember her name, the lead actress,
Renata Rinsva.
Yeah.
Rinsva.
She was phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just there's there's a scene with her and Elle Fanning where discussing like the history of her family and her relationship with her dad that kind of ties everything together in just that one brief discussion.
Yeah.
It ties it all together, and it's really, really good. So
yeah. And speaking of Elle Fanning, a couple things. Number one, she's nominated for supporting for that film.
Yeah.
Which I thought she was fine, but you know what she was great in? Predator Badlands. That is the performance that I think she should have been nominated for.
I like when they went to that other planet in Sentimental Value.
Yeah, it was really good.
And they were hunting Skarsgård.
Shit, er ikke det den der Rachel Kemp? Oh, shit.
Hallo, du, Nora. Du, nå.
Nothing has really changed.
I know I said when we were talking about F1 that like a movie doesn't have to be enjoyable to be great, but it certainly helps. And this Sentimental Value for me was not that enjoyable of a film. And it is very well performed.
Yes.
And I had a real feel for the main character and what she was going through.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I felt like there wasn't a lot of movement in the film. There was just a lot of people butting up, like, this is who I am, and I'm butting up against you, and you're this way, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't work. And I know that it does shift at a certain point, but it didn't really hold together very well for me. And there was a lot. The character I cared about the most was the sister. you know? And I just feel like if I don't care about either of these other two, like the sister's not on that much.
I felt like she was the only one that seemed to have any, like, I don't know. Everybody was just so self-involved and narcissistic, or, you know, I don't know. Even if like they were hurting or had problems, whatever, the sister was the only one that, in my opinion, had like compassion for others. Like I felt like the rest of them were, it's just, I don't know. Like,
she was the family member holding everyone together.
holding
basically.
everyone together.
Holding it and saying, okay. She was the middle child. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's the Horatio, if we're gonna use a Hamlet.
Sure.
Reference.
How about you, Mandy? What did you think about this?
It was fine. I felt Skarsgård. He did a good job. So I know he won the Globe. I personally don't think he should win the Oscar. I think the movie should win. Although Night Agent's also nominated for international, right? Not a Night Agent, Secret Agent. Secret Agent. So
yes, I believe so.
I was gonna say, I think maybe best international. I do not think best picture. I felt there is a lot of nominations that came out of it because the both sisters are nominated. Elle Fanning's nominated. He's nominated. I don't think Elle Fanning she did good, but I don't think she's nomination worthy for this one. But I don't know. It was a snooze fest a little bit for me. Spoiler alert, I did enjoy the last scene. I did enjoy that he did, in fact, they worked together, and that the last scene was that whole scene that him and Elle Fanning were talking about all, through the picture, and that it ended with pretty much what she had been having issues with her dad the whole time, was that they couldn't talk to each other, and that there they are standing on that soundstage, just not talking to each other. And I was like, okay, that I think does speak to a lot of people about their relationships with their family or with their parents, that they just can't connect. So,
yeah. And I think the theme of reconciliation or through art is well presented. I think I enjoyed it a little more than you guys, but it's in my bottom few. It might be 8 or 9. And the whole house POV perspective of the house containing these memories and things through time. Yeah. And then in the end, the house is a set. And I think thematically, it's really successful in that way.
Yeah.
But it's a long road.
It is a long road.
So in that respect, it drops a little, but the themes are there, and I think they're done well. It's just speed it up, maybe.
Yeah. It's a little quiet.
Next, we have Sinners. I will say that off the bat, I think this is the one that really is contending with One Battle After Another for good reason. It might be my second, my number 2 or 3.
It's my third.
Yeah, on the list. It was a fantastic movie. It was interesting that it felt one way for most of it. I mean, it was a little bit spoiled. I kind of knew the supernatural thing that was going to happen. I don't know if it makes that better or worse, it makes that worse for the experience, but it was fine knowing. Because it starts out kind of in one way about like, oh, these brothers are going to open up a speakeasy, and they're going to, and they'll have themes of whatever. And, but then once that other part comes in, which is handled really, really great, I think, really well. I love the first scene with the vampires. When they go to that house, where he goes to that house and the Native Americans are like chasing him, trying to go, don't let him in. Don't, I thought that was done really well. And then like the reveal right at the end of that scene is just so great. Spooky. And then, it makes them so when they arrive, you're like, oh shit. Excuse me. Some of, let me just say, I'm sure you have something to say about this. The surrealistic musical performance scene is one of the coolest things I've seen in a movie in a while. I just thought it was great.
The use of music throughout is pretty phenomenal. This is one of those soundtracks that I actually have. And just because it's just so well done and incorporated so well into, and it puts meaning behind the story that gives it a whole different level. But yeah, for me, this is number 3, only because I think that really it's going to come down to One Battle and Hamnet for the Academy voters, because Sinners is still, no matter how great it is, it's still a genre film, and those are so hard to get through to the final winner.
Mm-hmm.
It's so rare that it's done, and Hamnet and One Battle are just made for Academy voters.
Mm-hmm.
they just are, and it is what it is. But Sinners, it's not an underdog, but if it by chance does go up higher and it actually does win, it'll be a miracle, not because I wouldn't like to see it, but because I think the Academy picking it would be a miracle as the winner.
And also, it getting the 16 noms being a record, that can sometimes hurt a film for its chances of winning, because it's spread so thin. A lot of voters, when they get to best picture, say, oh, well, it's going to win for other stuff. I can go with my heart or whatever, I can go with what they were thinking of because it got so many nominations. Oh, that's a lot of recognition already. I don't know. I mean, I think I'll just say the look of it is amazing, and the performances were great. And I love Delroy Lindo being nominated too.
Oh yeah, of course.
There are legends of people born with the gift of making music so true it can pierce the veil between life and death, conjuring spirits from the past and the future.
Somebody take me in your arms tonight. Somebody take me.
I saw this originally in the theater, and then I saw it again last weekend. And from then to now, my views have changed, especially now that I know it's nominated. So it's like, has this prestige here. No. I kind of, after watching it again, felt like I wanted Michael B. Jordan to win for Best Actor. He does a fantastic job. I love, this one's also visually stunning, like when they're driving through the cotton fields.
Mm-hmm.
The musical aspect of this was, clearly what makes it, all of it. It's just that scene when they're at the, is it a juke joint? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Where they, flash forward to all the different eras or not even flash forward, they go back, and it's just how music has it's just this basket that's woven together, and I loved that.
That was the most affecting scene of any movie I saw last year to me.
Yeah.
It just came in a moment, and the way it was done, I was like, wow. It was a wow scene for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great scenes last year, but that one really well done.
Amazing. And I loved that, again, like F1, that they've nominated a kind of horror movie, so that I think is great too. And the Delroy Lindo was amazing. The woman who plays, is it Stack? There's Stack and I don't know what their names are, but
Smoke.
the twin Smoke and Stack. And I don't know which one's which, but the one that's not the naughty one, the other one,
Smoke
is the more responsible one.
It's the more responsible one. His
Blue hat.
Blue hat, the one in the blue suit, in the red suit, and his lady, who's also nominated, she's fantastic as well. And I think I don't know if she'll get it, but I think has a running shot. But I loved it. This one for me is in the top. This is my second. So it's One Battle After Another, and then this one. And fantastic.
I think it's my second one too, pretty sure.
Yeah.
How about you, Al? What do you think?
I love this movie. I saw it with Mandy in the theaters in July, and then saw it again last weekend, although I saw it with my kids. And so I wanted it to be fresh because most of the movies I had seen recently, and I didn't think that was fair if we're like comparing them or ranking them, to have one be so distant in my mind. And I think that the visual appeal, the way the music is such an intricate part of the movie, and how that's all woven. Like we just discussed that scene where they're using music to connect the past and the future, and how this all
works.
Where they say in the movie that music can open portals to other times and other worlds, and that scene captures that idea magnificently. I think the performances are fantastic. I think Michael B. Jordan is great. Delroy Lindo, and he didn't get nominated, but the kid, was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
and
he was so good.
Preacher Boy.
Yeah. and that Preacher Boy, and his that voice he's got. It's stunning. I do think that Ryan Coogler has a great way of using color in a film, and so and with the twins, the one of them's got kind of the blue cap and the blue theme throughout his costume,
and driving a blue truck, and the other one has a red suit, a red hat, and is riding in that red car.
And I can't imagine I've seen every Ryan Coogler film, but I've loved everyone I've seen. And this, to me, I'll say this: there are 3 movies that have kind of moved into my top spot at different times and keep rotating. So I guess they are my top 3. I said Hamnet is probably number 5 for me, but actually no, it's probably number 3, because it was Hamnet at one point, it was Sinners at one point, and it was One Battle After Another at one point. But repeatedly, it's mostly been Sinners for me as the best of the year. And
it's the most nominated, right?
Yeah, in history. 16.
Oh, because they added a new category.
Cast.
Yeah. Best casting.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually, that's long overdue that as
I think so. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I think this is for me, the best movie of last year. Although again, get me on a different day, I might say One Battle After Another. And if I'm feeling more witchy and sad, it might be Hamnet.
Like, I just want to say that I loved the spoiler alert, in traditional kind of, I know he's done a few Marvels, right? Or at least one Marvel, and like at the end, the like scene where they flash forward, and this like, that was fun.
So let's talk about Train Dreams. You saw that one, right?
I did, yeah.
So Train Dreams, in general, I felt that it was a beautiful film, set very much in the woods, nature, the whole film, basically, mostly. And it was very almost lyrical and poetic in its treatment of like the surroundings, huge trees dwarfing little people. I don't know. It was shot very well. And I put in my notes Terrence Malick-y a little bit. But I called it a dreamy fable of a working man finding meaning around the early part of the century, I guess, maybe a little bit later. I thought the performances were strong, subtle, but very strong. Again, just a beautiful film. Let me hear what you folks think about it.
I also think that it has some nice comic relief when it's needed. I mean, William H. Macy's character, stuff like that, works really, really well. The poetic part of it that you mentioned, like visually, there's like certain dreams that are just like really stunning to watch. I wish I'd seen it on the big screen. Unfortunately, I saw it streaming. I wish I'd seen it on the big screen. But what really stood out to me, besides the performances and the visuals, is that soundtrack is just, I really think, an amazing soundtrack. Really, really loved the way they incorporated that into the sound design and everything else.
And that final song was written for the film by Nick Cave, right?
Yeah.
It's
definitely
nominated, right?
Yep.
It is. Yeah. But I'm a huge Joel Edgerton fan. I just everything I see him in, he's just so good. And I just like how he imbues characters. Ooh, I said imbues.
Ooh.
Imbues characters with this humanity that he elevates something that should be very mundane and run of the mill into something more, and he does it in such a very unique way that I don't see very often, and he's just really good at that. But everybody about it, and I don't want to give too much of the movie away. People haven't seen it, but the fire scene I thought was just absolutely amazing how they did that and shot that and put it all together with the sound and editing and everything else. So
yeah,
there's a lot that I really loved about this movie. As you said, Matt, it's beautifully shot. I forget, is it nominated for cinematography? If it's not,
I think it is.
Be. Yeah, because it is gorgeous. Love all the nature shots and the performances. Joel Edgerton and everyone else is really good in it. I was not surprised to find out that it's based on a book because it has that sort of literature feel to it, and the narrative is really driven by this voiceover, wonderful voiceover by Will Patton, who just has such a great storytelling voice, and he's famous for that. But it works really well in the film to tell the story and to describe this character. And yeah, I mean, like Mike said, Joel Edgerton is just, he adds so much. His performance really adds a lot to the feel of the picture, and it's a period piece, and it's like a lot of period pieces. It's heartbreaking. I just find that times were so difficult. What these people dealt with back then in terms of death and struggle, and as you know, we're kind of spoiled today, and that we're a little protected. And just watching everyone go through these hard times, and they were tough for people back then. And it's always a little hard for me to watch that stuff, but it was very great to watch. And I specifically like the dream sequences are very well done. So many times in movies and TV shows when you can tell that something is kind of a dream at a certain point, and all of a sudden they cut to the shot of the person sitting up in bed and going, and it's just like, oh, it was a dream. Instead, they just would have him just sort of wake up the way we naturally do from a dream.
Yeah.
You just wake up and it's like, oh, yep, he was sleeping. It wasn't as extreme, and I thought that was really well done. I unfortunately watched this movie on my phone, just by circumstance, laying on a couch, holding my phone up in front of me, just, and I really wish I could have seen it on the big screen because I think it would have worked well on there. So I liked it a lot.
So instead you chose the smallest screens possible instead.
Well, I didn't, I did what I had to do. I'm lucky that I even saw 2 movies out of the nominees this year, and that was how I did it. So
I watched it on my Apple Watch.
In the forest, every least thing's important. It's all threaded together, so you can't tell where one thing ends and another begins if you really look at it. The little insects you can't even see, they play a role as vital as the river. The dead tree is as important as the living one. There must be something for us to learn from that.
What if you got nothing left to give? What then?
World needs a hermit in the woods as much as a preacher in the pulpit, you know?
Yeah.
I will say that I knew the least about this movie going into it, and I think it is arguably the most visually beautiful film of all of them, even over Frankenstein for me. And there's a lot of really good visual films in these nominations. But this
and that
one
was
is-
mostly natural light too. It wasn't a
Yeah. We talked over and over again about how he or she, I don't know what the director was, captured light. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lighting was such a huge part of why it was so beautiful. I think that Joel Edgerton was really good. And it is a slow movie, but it's because of the subject matter and the setting, because it's set so much just in, the wildlife,
Beauty.
almost,
Yeah.
rural country. The pace feels appropriate to the film, to me. And it's so beautiful. It's so simple as well, that I really love this movie. It's definitely in my top 5. And I also think, this is you got to have one of these every year. Like, this is the potential dark horse winner of for Best Picture. Because every once in a while the Academy does all of a sudden go all these
Like
great
Coda
movies.
or that year.
Yeah.
You're
but
like,
it's
what?
Moonlight,
Yeah, totally.
So if that happens to me, I imagine it would be Train Dreams of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
I would see it
love
winning cinematography.
for sure.
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful. I also found it visually stunning, and the love story was so beautiful, and their home. And I was born and raised in Idaho partly, and that's where it's set and filmed. I don't know if that's where it was filmed, but that's where it was supposed to be, is northern Idaho. And just the light from the way that it would come through the windows to the fire to just the way they shot everything was so beautiful. Spoiler alert, the end scene when it's the whole house is just overgrown with vines and keys in his bed. It's just,
and the shoes on the tree.
yes, just beautiful. And each scene just kept, I don't know. It's slow, but I didn't mind the slowness of it because it was just quiet, and I felt like I was there when I was watching it, like when they're along the river and just with the children or the baby. I guess it's not children; it's just one. All of it just was so, I just felt when I watched it.
Yeah.
It just felt drippy, and yeah. And for me, it's in my top 3 for sure. I think it's One Battle After Another, Sinners, and then this one.
Nice.
I just thought it was gorgeous.
I think there's a parallel between this and actually Hamnet in its nature imagery, but also of
And
a
its
feeling
story.
of foreboding, especially the happy scenes in the cabin. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
When is this shit going to go down?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
And beautiful film. Loved it.
Yeah.
I will also add just that early on in the film, he's working with a bunch of men, and one of them is Asian, probably Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese.
And gets killed. And he doesn't directly participate in it, but he's there, and he
doesn't
could have
stop
done
it.
something.
Yeah.
And the way the movie deals with his regret about that, it doesn't come up a lot, but it just all of a sudden sometimes that character shows up. I thought that was also very effective.
Yeah. That was really good.
Joel was also robbed of a nomination. I thought he did I think it was the performance of his career. He did a really good job. I think William H. Macy did a really good job. Is he nominated?
No,
but he was every scene he's in. It's just wow.
Really good. And that whole last scene with him was heartbreaking too. There was a lot of heartbreak in this one, but it was beautiful heartbreak. I could take the heartbreak when it's beautiful.
All right. So there you go. So let's just do a quick will win versus should win. I think I know, but let's just, Manny, okay, what will win? Best Picture, what should win?
I think what will win is probably Hamnet, and what should win is One Battle After Another.
All right. How about you, Al?
I think I agree that I think Hamnet will win. It's already won the Golden Globe.
But so has One Battle After Another. But
Yeah,
it was
it
for the
has.
other
You're
category.
right.
So
But Hamnet is more of an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And you have to remember there's younger people, but also much older people voting. What I think should win is Sinners.
Yeah.
But I also think that if it was One Battle After Another, I go like, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
yeah, that's a hard one because Sinners
tough.
is like, I wish
And in
that
a
they'd
way,
break it up like the Golden Globes would. Why can't we have two winners?
Yeah. I know that what I want to win is One Battle After Another, and that hasn't changed. And it's funny, like when, like early on, before even the nominations were announced, that I was trying to think about what movies would be nominated. I was like, oh, One Battle for sure will, and I'm like Sinners, and I was like, and I saw Sinners after One Battle, and I saw it, and I went, oh, that was really good, but I don't think it's not better than One Battle. And then as I thought about it, and as I saw the movie again, and then one other time, I'm like, this is creeping up on One Battle. Now, to be fair, I haven't seen One Battle again. I've only seen it once in the theater when it came out, and I want to see it again. I want to own it, quite honestly.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, but I stick with it. I think that should win. For me, it was the most satisfying as a whole. But I think what I said, what will, was possibly the same. I thought One Battle would win, but it's a very not very confident choice, because I do think Sinners could certainly win. It could be a huge night for Sinners, to be honest.
It could be.
It could.
And that would be fine too. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Sinners might actually get hurt by the number of nominations.
Yeah.
Because people in the Academy might go, oh, well, you know what? They're going to
for
get
something else.
Yeah, I'm going to go with this one or da-da-da, But we'll see.
Yeah.
I think Hamnet could win. For some reason, I don't think it will. I'm going to go with what I said. One Battle will win, but Sinners is in there too. Well, it's in there.
I think it's going to be One Battle. I actually really want to see Hamnet get it.
I would love for it to get for direction. I love P.T. Anderson. He's one of my favorite directors. But I think she did the job masterfully, and I think I would love for her to be rewarded for it.
Yeah, I think here's the two ways I look at it. One Battle, loved it, enjoyed it so much, my favorite of the year. Hamnet got under my skin, got to me so much that it affected me. And so thinking of it from that perspective, I really want something that is so emotionally effective to get it, even though it's probably not going to. I just wish it would.
And I actually think if Ryan Coogler won, that'd be great for him. It'd be great because he did a great job. But, he's young. He's going to do more. All right. So there you go. There's your 10 nominees. In the comments, please let us know what you think should win and what you think will win. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe and like. And thank you, Mike, for joining me. Thank you, Rand, and thank you, Mandy and Al. And enjoy the Oscars, everybody. Bye.
All right. Bye.